Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here today. Today we are looking at the Cygnus CRS-2 NG-23 mission here today. As you can see, we're at T-minus 15 minutes from liftoff. The Cygnus XL, our payload here today, is a bigger version of the Cygnus spacecraft, carrying over 11,000 pounds on board today on the Falcon 9. This includes supplies like science, experiments, and tools for the astronauts. And of course, food. The launch time will be at 6:11 p.m. EDT. Very good launch time. This is at Space Launch Complex 40. Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. This is the first launch of the bigger Cygnus XL rocket, which can carry way more stuff to help astronauts do cool experiments like growing special crystals and testing new gear. So let's learn a little bit about the booster. So the booster is B. Okay, let's listen to this and I'll be back.
Falcon 9 team reported on console at T-minus 2 hours and 15 minutes and began their final checks of the launch vehicle and...
Okay, back here. I'm sorry about that. So our booster is B1094. This will be its fourth trip to space. It has flown on a Starlink mission, Axiom 4, and Starlink. They also performed Crew 11. So, this booster uses 9 Merlin Wendy engines to boost the rocket up into space. About after 8 minutes after launch, it will try to land back at Landing Zone 2, LZ2, near the launch site in Florida. It's like the rocket doing a flip and landing like a, plane, kind of. So the fairing, what it is at the top is protects the Cygnus XL spaceship. Think of it as a big cozy blanket for the spacecraft. The fairing is a cover made out of 2 halves that fit together just like a giant clamshell. Its job is to keep Cygnus XL safe from wind and heat as the rocket speeds up into the air. Once the rocket is high in space, the fairing pops open and falls away, so the spaceship can head to the ISS and dock with them. SpaceX might try to catch the fairing craft with the special boats and nets. It's like catching a huge flying toy. The fairing has a special access door for this launch, so the team can load up last-minute supplies into the XL. Now let's listen up and see what happens.
The ISS is 250 miles above the Earth. The Moon is 1,000 times farther than that. And Mars is even 1,000 times further than that. And so we've got a lot to learn, and I'm really glad that we're laying the footwork here on the ISS.
Tyler, we are at T-minus 9 minutes 48 seconds until the launch of the Falcon 9 rocket and the Northrop Grumman Cygnus XL cargo craft, which is delivering over 11,000 pounds of supplies and science experiments to the International Space Station, as you just saw in that video. Science is the prime focus for crews living and working on board the International Space Station, and today's delivery includes materials to produce semiconductor crystals in space and equipment to develop improvements for cryogenic fuel tanks. The spacecraft also will deliver a specialized UV light system to prevent the growth of microbe communities that form in water systems and supplies to produce pharmaceutical crystals that could treat cancer and other diseases. And that's just a quick snapshot of the science and research launching today, but for now, let's check back in with Tyler and Hawthorne.
Thank you, Sandra. It is T-minus 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and SpaceX team is working with no significant issues. Coming up soon at the T-minus 7 minute mark, we are going to do engine chill on the first stage. So before any propellant flows, the plumbing and engines need to be chilled down. This prevents thermal shock and boil off when the ultra-cold liquid starts moving. And this is what is referred to as engine chill. And then coming up in just over 2 minutes, RP1 loading for the first stage will wrap up, which is going to complete the fuel side of the propellant equation for the booster. We use RP1, a rocket-grade kerosene and liquid oxygen as primary...
I just wanted to say that they usually don't show it like this. They usually show a different camera, but it's interesting. I've never seen them showing it like this, so yeah.
Out of the same tanks. So the colder it is, the more mass that you can move.
And the next call out that we will be looking ahead towards this afternoon is for stage 1 RP load complete. We do expect that call out at about the 6 minute mark. As Tyler said, RP1 is densified kerosene or rocket fuel, which will help crew into the cargo into orbit today.
So the engine chilling should start about now, so let's continue listening in and see what happens.
Engine chill.
Yep, there you go.
We just heard that call out for engine chill. As mentioned earlier, that is to prevent thermal shock and boil off when the ultra-cold liquid starts moving. And then in just under 30 seconds, we are waiting for that call out for stage 1 RP1 load complete. Once that wraps up, that'll complete
Stage 1 RP1 load is complete.
There we go. That completes the fuel side of the propellant side of the equation for the booster.
So there you go. We have finished fueling, and now just a short.
That's right, Tyler. And coming up next, we'll hear the call for Dragon to configure for terminal count and then transition to internal battery power. And we'll also hear the call out for strong back to retract, and we might get some visuals of that as well. The strong back is the large truss structure you see next to the rocket, and it's hinged at the base and connects to the launch mount beneath the very first stage. So first, we'll see the clamp arms open up around the second stage, and then the strong back will begin to pivot back, slowly swinging away from the rocket. It will reach its full recline by the T-minus 3 minutes and 40 seconds period. This strong back plays a critical role ahead of launch as it rolls Falcon 9 out to the pad and raises its vertical, as well as stays connected through the final seconds to launch. It provides fuel, power, telemetry, and command connections between ground systems and the rocket. We'll continue to check through a couple more fueling milestones, including one around the 2-minute mark
Falcon 9 tanks
before
are
flight, where
pressing for
we will
strong
hear
back
that
retract.
So strong back.
That was a good
retract.
call out there. It's an indication that we are on track for an on-time liftoff as the transporter erector will prepare to retract.
Okay, so it's gonna retract in a moment. Retracting will be finished.
So
at
we are
3
about
minutes and
20
40.
seconds away from starting to see those clamp arms starting to open around the second stage at the top of the vehicle. They're important because they help stabilize the second stage during propellant loading.
Strong back lower has started.
So that means the strong back has begun.
We have pretty good
retracting.
views, and so soon we should start to see those arms opening up. It'll take about 15 seconds in total. They're also useful because they prevent movement in high winds, and once they are fully open, which is going to be soon, then the rocket will be fully free at the top.
So there you go. That's a really cool shot of them opening.
Now it looks like those arms are fully open now, and we should expect the strong back to start leaning back away from the rocket, giving it room for liftoff.
So you can see it retracting very slowly. It's
Okay.
It should
Almost
go-
complete. There it goes. Now, at this point, both stages are nearly fully loaded with about 1 million pounds of propellant. The first stage will be complete at around T-minus 3 minutes, followed by the second stage, which is expected to wrap up liquid oxygen loading at about T-minus 2 minutes.
So, yep, that was a really cool shot of seeing the strong back retract. So let's continue listening in and hope we make it to T-minus 0.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
So liquid oxygen loading for the first stage has just completed, finalizing propellant loading for the booster. Now, the tanks are pressurized using helium, and that helium is chilled too, so it stays compatible with the cryogenic plumbing. During flight, that pressurization helps force propellant into the engines as the tanks empty. And then at T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will enter startup. At that point, the rocket's onboard flight computers will take over. From there on out, the countdown becomes fully autonomous.
So there we go. Liquid oxygen has been completely loaded. Let's, of course, continue listening in until we get more information.
And we are standing by to hear that call out for stage 2 LOX load to be complete.
Stage 2
That will
LOX load is
complete the
complete.
prop load for the upper. And right on time, that liquid oxygen for the second stage is now fully loaded, completing prop load for the upper stage. We may also hear a call that Dragon's flight computer is in auto idle. You may notice the white clouds venting from around the rocket. That isn't smoke, that's actually condensation and is expected. As the liquid oxygen warms slightly inside the tanks,
Ground
some of
gas
it boils
closeouts.
off, and that gas is now being vented to help manage the pressure. When the vented oxygen hits the warm and humid outside air, it instantly condenses into clouds, which you are getting visuals of on your screen now.
So the clouds are actually a lot of water condensed into a small area, just like how normal clouds are. And it's also condensation, so.
As of now, the payload remains healthy and the rocket is tracking no issues. Weather is green
Falcon
for...
9 is in startup.
Good call out there. Weather is green for a scheduled liftoff at 6:11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are heading into the final moments before launch.
I'm really hoping there's
Launch
no
director,
hold.
go for launch.
Okay, so we are go for launch, and we are in startup, so hopefully we'll...
At this point, the autonomous flight computers have taken over the launch countdown, and stages 1 and 2 are
T-minus
pressurizing
30
for
seconds.
launch.
So hopefully we'll be able to make it. I hope there's no holds, but if there is, then we will see.
Everything looking good ahead of liftoff.
Also, I didn't know
T-minus
that it was
15 seconds.
Okay, I'll do the countdown too, because why not?
T-minus 10,
10,
9,
9,
8,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Cygnus.
Let's go, Cygnus. This is really cool. Okay. So
And liftoff,
Vehicle
Falcon
is
9
pitching
and
downrange.
Cygnus take flight.
M1D chamber pressure nominal.
The SS Willie McCool is en route to the International Space Station. Vehicle pitching downrange as all 9 Merlin engines have lit.
So a few things will now happen in rapid succession shortly. Max Q will happen, then stage separation. At stage separation,
We are currently throttling down to prepare for max Q, which is the point in the mission profile where the vehicle...
at stage separation, sorry, I got interrupted there. At stage separation, we will separate the first stage, then start up the second engine, and soon we will be chilling the second engine. After that, there will be fairing deploy, which will be about 30 seconds after. Then after that, about 3 minutes after, we will experience entry burn. After that, we'll have landing burn, and then boom, we're done. So, yep, that's going to be a quick, small session today, and we'll see what happens.
Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 M1D engines
Stage 2 engine chill.
on the Falcon 9 first stage are shut down. This is followed by separation of the first and second stages. Stage 1 flip is when the booster uses its nitrogen gas thrusters to flip the booster around. And a few seconds later, the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite to boost Cygnus to low Earth orbit, and that is also called out as Second Engine Start 1, or SES-1. After that, Falcon 9's first stage will ignite again to orient itself to head back to land. And shortly thereafter, the two fairing halves will separate and expose the spacecraft to the vacuum of space. And we should be hearing the first of those call-outs in about 10 seconds.
Miko. Let's see if we can see it. And stage separation confirmed. And MVAC startup confirmed. And soon we'll be fairing separation. And
There we heard the call-outs for all of those events, which again were MECO.
fairing separation, there we go.
Stage 1 flip,
Beautiful. The payload is now exposed to the vacuum of space. We are now above the Kármán line.
for completion of the boost back burn on the Falcon 9 first stage. This burn, which will last in total about 50 seconds, is the first of 3 burns that the booster needs to go through in order to make its way back to landing zone 2 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. So there was the successful boost back burn on the Falcon 9 first stage. If you're just joining us, you're watching live coverage of Northrop Grumman's Commercial Resupply Services 23 mission to the space station. We had an on-time liftoff at 6:11 p.m. Eastern Time from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Now, in order to make its way back to land today, the Falcon 9 first stage has 2 more burns to execute. Next up is the entry burn, where 3 of the Merlin engines will reignite. This helps to slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper part of Earth's atmosphere. And following the entry burn, the booster will go through its landing burn, and this is a single engine burn that brings down the vehicle's speed rapidly in order to land back on Earth. And we should be hearing the call out for that entry burn in about 2 minutes from now. During the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, but the vehicle is still moving really fast. And this causes it to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases.
It's a little bit laggy on the cameras. I don't know why that's happening. I did see a few particles flying off, so that worries me a little bit, but I think it's just RCS or I forgot what it's actually called, but I think it's just RCS. So the MVAC is going great, so we'll see what happens. Entry burn will happen in about a minute or 2. So let's continue.
Now, you might have noticed on the left-hand side of your screen that Falcon 9 is equipped with those 4 hypersonic grid fins, which are positioned near the top of the first stage. Stage 1 is using nothing but those grid fins for steering as it returns to Earth. They orient the rocket during re-entry and guide it during its descent back down to Earth. Reusability is the key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, enabling more investments in critical space infrastructure. The Falcon 9 first stage that is supporting today's mission is performing this entry its 4th time, and the payload fairings are also flight proven, with one half flying for its 6th time and the other half flying for its 3rd time. And we are moments away from the beginning of that entry burn. You should see the graphics light up as the engines do on the bottom of your screen.
So here we are. Entry burn.
And there's the call out for the entry burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage.
Okay, that's beautiful. It will be for about 30 seconds, so watch it while you can. Wow. Landing burn is happening a little bit after that, so let's see. Oh, there we go. That's the shutdown of the entry burn, so let's continue listening in and hope it manages to land at about 8 minutes and about 1 minute and 20 seconds.
So soon we'll have that start of the landing burn of the first stage. This is the final burn of the Falcon 9 booster used to reduce the speed of the vehicle for a gentle and precise landing. Check out those incredible views as it comes down.
Stage 1, FTS has saved. Stage 1, transonic. Stage 1, landing burn.
You just heard the call out for the landing burn start on the Falcon 9 first stage. Again, this is the final burn that this booster will see before landing.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
That was a touchdown. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.